Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, all the acting fathers. Fathers, period. Today's your day. I'm doing something a little different today. I made myself an email account. It's called Let's Talk About It, jrose@gmail.com. So people that have stories that they want to share, I have them email them to me and I share them with you all in hopes to inspire someone. So this story is entitled The Story of an Inmate Who Wants to Right His Wrongs. And so being that it's not my story, I will be reading it. So if I'm looking down up at you, down and up, I'm gonna try to, do that as much as possible. Just don't want to be buried in my note, in my letter. So this story is about a young man who has been locked up since he was 20 years old, and he's now 40. He's a federal inmate, and he's hoping this year that he can be freed. There's a judgment in his case, and he made some bad choices and didn't get caught up for his past wrongs. The thing about life is karma will always catch up with you. For those people that are doing time and those who are out committing crimes, change the way you're thinking, and you'll change your world around you. The decisions I made to get me here, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. They're the ones that got me opening up in hopes to help others not go through the same thing I went through. I was 20 years old young man when I got locked up. I'm now 40 years old. Know that life is going to go on without you if you decide to do wrong instead of right. I hope my story can help change someone to do right, not wrong. Let's see. So I had some questions. My questions were, what would you do differently? And the response was not get involved with some people that I was dealing with. It's truth in saying you are the company you keep. And a lot of times we don't really believe that, but the people you hang out with, you'll eventually start doing the things that they're doing. If they're doing bad things, you're going to eventually be doing bad things too. If they're doing good things, then you'll do good things. So you got to pick your company. You got to choose your company wisely. All company is not good company. That's my little light ad on that. What hurts the most? That was my question. My co-defendant killed a man for nothing. I got pulled in on a drug conspiracy that's not even my own. Also the fact that I left my little brother and sisters out there to grow up without me. I got involved in drugs from growing up around it. I didn't have to do it because I came from a very good family. And a lot of times, I think in situations like this, people do things because they feel like they have no choice. But clearly, he's saying that he didn't have to do that. A lot of times, we just do stuff without even thinking about it until, and then later we have to suffer the consequences. Because behind every action is a reaction, is a consequence that we have to deal with. And this is the consequences of doing bad things for over a period of time. You can get away with it for a little while, but eventually it's gonna catch up with you. Life. So my question was, did you hang out with the wrong people? And then the response was, I didn't really hang out with many people, but I was the leader of many. And a lot of times, if you don't know who you are or where you're going, where are you leading people or yourself to? You gotta think about that. Be aware of where you're leading people that follow you. My next question was, what are your plans for the future? So his plans is to hopefully open a door for people to see when doing wrong things, the wrong things come to you. So I guess open up like an outreach program for people like himself. I will add that's all I have. It didn't seem like it was that fast, but I talk fast. I know I do. I talk fast. I read fast. So I would say this right here, from knowing people that have been incarcerated, coming out back into civilization can be very hard because it's hard for them to find jobs. They have a background, they have a record, and it's so hard for them to find work. And I can see, I'm not saying it's right, but I see why some people eventually go back, because they start doing those things they did to lead them there, because they feel like they have no options. But there has got to be a program. There has got to be some some ways for these individuals to get back out into the real world and not have to resort back to crime, you know? So wouldn't that be nice when they can, you know, go and apply for a job and not be looked at because of their past? Because I'm quite sure that, you know, they spent a lot of time in there, and I'm quite sure they thought about what they did and they don't want to go back there. Now, some people may want to go back, you know, and that's on them. But some people want to, you know, establish their own thing, you know, come back in the workforce and work. My best advice is, if possible, try to get your own business, because it's going to be hard. It's because people look at that and they might not consider hiring you because of your background. And these are all things that we have to take into accountability when we're doing wrong. You know, you gotta understand that this stuff's gonna come back to haunt you. It can come back to haunt you forever. You know, you did your time. You paid for it. You paid for it with your life. With 20 years, right? 20 years he's been there of his life. So, you know, it's gonna be hard coming out here trying to get back into it, because, you know, you left and it was like, I forgot what year it is. Maybe like 98. 90, probably like 99, 97, something like that, about 20 years. You come back, it's 2019. You know how so many things have changed. Technology, people, the world is constantly changing, and it's going to continue to change whether you're here or not. So wouldn't it be nice to have, you know, something where they can, you know, get back into the real world and be able to, you know, to work and not be looked at all funny because, you know, you did something crazy. You know, we all do crazy things. Some get caught up with it, and some get away with it. You know, so it's you got to think about what it is that you're doing, because eventually it's gonna come back to bite you, and you could end up in jail, in prison. You know, I saw something. It's a person that's locally in the area. I saw that he had I think a DUI, felony DUI. You know, so I mean, we have to be mindful of the decisions that we make, because it could hurt somebody and it could lead you to jail or prison. And I don't know who want to spend the rest of their life, you know, 20 years or 10 years. Like we only got this one life. We only got one life. Just remember this right here. We only got one life to live. Let's live that life to our fullest. Try to do right by people. Try to do the right things. Because if you don't, you'll be just like this young man right here, in prison since 20 years old, age 40 now. Life is, 20 years of his life is gone. He'll never get back. You got to think about that. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. You got family out here, because, he's not doing that time by himself. His family got to do that time with him. His family got to, send him money. His family got to go see him, got to call, You got to do all these things. You got to try to encourage. You got to try to encourage him in a place full of discouragement. They can be very hard. Me, my father was in prison as well. He's out now, but those visits, it's not the best. I don't want nobody, I wouldn't want to put nobody through that. I'm not saying we out here trying to do that, but I wouldn't want to put nobody through that, because it's just not good. It's very uncomfortable. It is what it is. And we all, the family got to deal with it. It's not just the person that got to live there. It's like when you go see them, you got to do all these, you got to do all this stuff. You got to strip down and just to go in there, to see this person, see your family member, loved one. I know we got to do what we got to do, but you got to make better decisions. At the end of the day, we got to make better decisions about your life. Think about that. This time you can't get back. You know what I'm saying? You want to be in a 4x whatever, 6x6. I don't know the size of it. You want to be in this block all day long, looking at a brick wall. Like, you don't know what you might come outside for a little bit, but you can't do what you want to do no more. Somebody telling you when to go to sleep, when to get up. You gotta make better choices. I like this one out, but it's all good because I'm about done. But so that's the story I'm sharing today, and the title is The Story of an Inmate Who Wants to Right His Wrongs. So hopefully he'll get out and he'll be able to share his story personally and help inspire others that's in a situation like this, or could be in a situation like this. Try to prevent it. We got to get involved. We got to get involved. We got to do more. We got to help, period. There's stuff out here, but we got to be willing to, do the work. So that's all I got, guys and ladies, everybody. Enjoy the rest of this Father's Day. And remember, you are the choices you make. Make better choices if you want a better outcome. Peace.